Welcome to Be Different Now, the channel where we don't just talk about the mind, we dive deep into it, where curiosity meets darkness, and the truth is often stranger than fiction. Today, we're going to explore 5 dark psychological facts that reveal the hidden parts of your mind, the parts that control your thoughts, your relationships, and your reality, without you even realizing it. Some of these facts might disturb you. Some might make you question everything you think you know about yourself. But all of them will open your eyes to the truth about human nature. So take a deep breath, because once you see how the mind really works, there's no going back. Let's begin. Fact number 1. People don't want the truth. They want comfort. Human beings love to say they want the truth. But in reality, most people don't want truth. They want comfort. They want the version of reality that hurts the least, even if it's a lie. Psychologists call this confirmation bias, the mental habit of seeking information that supports what we already believe and rejecting anything that challenges it. It's not because people are stupid or lazy. It's because truth threatens identity, and the brain's number one goal is self-preservation. When something contradicts your beliefs, your brain interprets it as a kind of attack. It triggers discomfort, even pain. So, your subconscious mind pushes it away, not because it's false, but because it's dangerous to your sense of self. Think about it. People stay in toxic relationships because the truth of being alone feels unbearable. People deny evidence because accepting it would mean admitting they were wrong. And people choose comforting lies every single day just to survive emotionally. The world is full of people chasing illusions, not because they don't know better, but because the truth requires courage and comfort doesn't. So here's the dark truth. Most people aren't living their lives. They're living their defenses. They're not protecting truth. They're protecting peace of mind. And the rare few who seek truth anyway, they're the ones who evolve. Fact number 2. Your brain can't tell the difference between reality and imagination. This one sounds unbelievable, but science confirms it. Your brain reacts almost the same way to what you imagine as it does to what you actually experience. If you imagine someone yelling at you, your heart rate increases. If you imagine yourself failing, your body releases stress hormones. And if you imagine success vividly enough, your brain starts building the neural pathways to make that success possible. In one experiment, scientists divided basketball players into 2 groups. One practiced free throws physically. The other group didn't touch a ball. They only imagined practicing. After weeks of this, both groups improved almost equally. The mind couldn't tell the difference between a thought and an action. This is both powerful and terrifying. Because if imagination can create, it can also destroy. People who constantly imagine worst-case scenarios live in a prison of their own thoughts. Their brains flood their bodies with anxiety as if those fears are real. That's why overthinkers often feel exhausted. They're living hundreds of painful realities that never actually happened. Your thoughts are not harmless. Every image you hold, every scenario you replay, becomes part of your emotional world. You are literally programming your brain with your imagination. So here's the dark fact. If you keep imagining disaster, your mind will find a way to make it real. But if you train yourself to imagine growth, strength, and calm, your brain will begin to create that reality too. The mind doesn't care whether it's real or imagined. It just reacts. So choose carefully what you feed it. Fact number 3. Love and addiction are the same chemical experience. You've probably heard the phrase, love is a drug. But scientifically, it's true, and that truth is darker than most people realize. When you fall in love, your brain releases dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, the same chemicals released when someone uses addictive drugs like cocaine. That rush of euphoria, that obsession, that need to be near someone, it's all chemistry. Psychologists call this the honeymoon phase, and it works just like addiction. Your brain associates a person with pleasure. And the more you're around them, the more your reward system becomes dependent on them. You stop seeing them as a person, you see them as a source of dopamine. That's why when a relationship ends, it feels like withdrawal. You check your phone for messages, replay old memories, and stalk social media for any sign of connection. Each little piece of interaction gives you a micro hit of the same chemical high. MRI scans show that people in heartbreak have activity in the same brain regions as recovering addicts. That's why heartbreak can feel like physical pain, because it literally is. The dark truth is, love isn't as romantic as we think. It's biological manipulation. A beautiful one, yes, but still manipulation. And if you're not careful, you can confuse addiction with attachment and attachment with love. Because sometimes, what we call love is just the fear of losing the drug that keeps us feeling alive. Real love isn't the high, it's what's left after the high fades. That's when you know if it's love or just dependency dressed as devotion. Fact number 4. We judge others to protect ourselves, not because we're right. Judgment is one of the mind's oldest survival tools. In prehistoric times, being able to quickly judge another person, their strength, trustworthiness, or danger, could mean the difference between life and death. But in the modern world, that instinct still lives inside us. Now, it doesn't protect our bodies, it protects our egos. When you judge someone, you create a psychological wall between yourself and them. It makes you feel superior, safer, more in control. You think, I'm not like them. But what's really happening is projection. The traits we hate most in others are often the ones we secretly fear in ourselves. When you call someone arrogant, lazy, selfish, or fake, you're often labeling a part of yourself that you've repressed. Your mind uses judgment as a mirror, so you don't have to look directly at your own flaws. That's why gossip feels good. It's not just social bonding, it's emotional relief. When you focus on someone else's flaws, you temporarily escape your own. But the effect doesn't last. Because deep down, your subconscious knows the person you're really judging is you. Here's the dark truth. Chronic judgment actually rewires your brain. Neuroscientists found that people who constantly criticize others have reduced activity in the parts of the brain responsible for empathy and emotional understanding. In other words, the more you judge, the less human you become. So, the next time you catch yourself gossiping, ask, what am I afraid to see in myself? Because the things you hate most in others are usually the things you refuse to heal in yourself. Fact number 5. Everyone wears a mask, and most never take it off. From the moment you were born, society started shaping you. Parents, teachers, culture, all teaching you what's acceptable, what's forbidden, and what parts of yourself you should hide. Over time, you learn to wear a mask, a persona, to survive. You smile when you're sad. You pretend to agree to avoid conflict. You suppress your anger, your fear, your true desires, just to fit in. And slowly, that mask becomes your identity. Carl Jung called the hidden parts of the self the shadow, the emotions and instincts you deny because they're unacceptable. But the more you deny your shadow, the stronger it becomes. You can repress rage, envy, jealousy, or shame, but you can't erase them. They wait, and one day, they explode through depression, anxiety, or destructive behavior. The dark truth is, everyone you know is performing to some degree, even you. And that's not always bad. We need masks to navigate society. But when you forget who's behind the mask, you lose touch with your soul. True self-awareness begins when you stop pretending to be who others want and start accepting the parts of yourself you've buried. Your shadow isn't evil, it's misunderstood. Your anger might be your repressed need for respect. Your jealousy might reveal your unmet potential. Your fear might hide your true calling. Integration, not denial, is the path to wholeness. When you embrace every part of yourself, even the dark ones, you stop being controlled by them. You stop being a puppet of your own mask. So take a moment to ask yourself, who am I when no one's watching? That's the person you need to meet. Because until you do, you'll always be half asleep, living someone else's life behind someone else's mask. These are the 5 psychological facts. If you liked it, then subscribe, be different now, and also drop a comment.